A case that spanned more than 4 years is heading toward an end. Former OnlyFans model Courtney Clinny from Austin has reached a plea agreement in the stabbing death of her boyfriend, Christian Obumseli. She was charged with second-degree murder and faced the possibility of life in prison. The case was expected to center on the couple's turbulent relationship.
I want to say this, and I want you to hear me clearly. A lot of times, the media will word things a certain way to, get all kind of reactions from people. But they also word things a certain way to manipulate reasonable emotions, reasonable pushback for what's going on. As you can see, this young lady has reached a plea deal in the stabbing, the fatal stabbing of her now deceased boyfriend. And the video shows of her being abusive. I followed a little bit of this in the beginning when it all first happened. She was an OnlyFans, so a lot of credibility and in the sense of like her character, like a lot of that shot, like it's out the window. So that should have never been a matter of whether this woman was a woman of great character or credibility. But I will say this. The video footage shows clearly of how abusive she was. And they said their relationship was turbulent, but there's nothing on file or video of this man abusing her. It's just of her abusing him. And just as someone, a person of color, I get concerned when I see the handling of certain cases to where, someone is able to reach a plea deal and the sentencing isn't light. We don't know what the sentencing is just yet, but I'm moved in a painful way, in a grieving way, because a family doesn't have their son. A mother and father doesn't have their son. Sister and brother doesn't have their brother. And I often sense that, especially when it comes to racial matters, that people tend to disregard people, our court system, the value and the dignity and the humanity of us as a whole. And if the roles had been reversed, whether a plea deal was offered or not, we know the sentencing would typically be much greater. And it's concerning. It's really concerning, not to the point to where I would ever be like, oh, don't date interracially. Hey, you have free will to date whom you please. What I would say is consider the climate that we live in. Not ignore that, hey, we live in a world that unfortunately who you choose to be with can have, impact on how you're viewed, can have impact on, how justice flows from, your situations. So you have to consider that. I want to play this video because I saw footage of her smiling in court, and I just think it's so unbecoming. But let me play this video, then I'm gonna give my thoughts later. I do want to say this though, just in context. There was supposedly some tweets that he sent out during the time that he was dating, to where he was like, oh, he just seemed to have, and I may be saying it too lightly, but I also don't want to say it too harshly and mischaracterize what he wrote. But this guy was also younger, so it's like, and he's no longer here to defend himself. But long story short, he had some tweets to where he was regarding white women in a higher regard than black women, and people felt that was a reason for them to ignore this crime against him and his life, and to dismiss it, and to not concern themselves with it at all. You know, I can disagree with him having, you know, these ignorant frameworks about black women, but I can also advocate for justice in the same time, in the same way. You know, I won't be simple-minded and one-dimensional to the point to where someone does something that I don't like, that I think like, oh, okay, well, justice doesn't have to flow for you because you did something wrong. No, that's not how this works. But let me play the rest of the video.
That relationship turned deadly in April of 2022 when Clinny stabbed Obumseli inside their Miami high-rise apartment.
Ma'am, listen to me. You need to stop screaming on the line and give me the address. 101. I can't get my arm. Please, God, please. Come save my husband.
Clinny has never denied stabbing Obumseli, but claimed she was defending herself. In fact, recent court filings indicated her attorneys plan to present a battered spouse syndrome defense, showing texts, fights, and injuries happening in Miami, Dubai, and Austin. Now, attention turns to August 10th, when the plea agreement...
You see what I'm saying? Like, they're gonna try to discredit you, mischaracterize you, make you look bad. The man is gone. Now all of a sudden, oh, there are battered texts. We have things that can prove. All the things that have been shown have only, and this is, I'm talking about even when it originally happened, because she wasn't immediately arrested. That's a whole nother conversation. It showed her being abusive. Even women and friends of hers were coming out talking about how abusive she was. Yet they're trying to, I'm telling you, like, the idea is to try to make this thing seem less essentially not as bad as it really is. She took this man out, and the justice system is offering her a plea deal. And we don't know what it's gonna look like, but it's just sad, man. Consider who you are with. Man or woman, just be mindful of who you choose to be with. Be mindful. Let me play the rest of this video.
Will be read in court and reveal what Clinny admitted to and what punishment she will face. This deal comes as another case has closed. Obumseli's family recently settled its wrongful death lawsuit against the condo and property management company where the stabbing happened. Legal documents show the companies will cover the costs of any outstanding medical or hospital bills and all liens. In return, Obumseli's family has dismissed the lawsuit.
Sad, man. Sad. I remember when, it first happened, she was out at a bar with her dad and people were, upset. Like, you just, stabbed someone supposedly and you're out here having a drink with your dad. And it was just sad. And even in court, when it was showing that she had come to a plea deal, in another video, she was smiling, licking out her tongue. Like, listen, man, all I can say, fellas, ladies, be mindful of who you date. Be mindful of, the person that you choose to do life with and spend time with, because it can make you or break you. As one of my mentees told me one time, and I never forgot it. He said, the person you choose to be with, they will either divide you or double you. So essentially, when he was saying divide you, he was saying pretty much they're going to make it to where your life is so challenging, you're not going to be able to be the best you can be. And when he says W, he's essentially saying a person will come into your life and help you optimize who you really are. Unfortunately, this young man won't be his story. His family have to live with that grief. We need to remember these as lessons to learn from. An abusive person, whether it's a man or a woman, is a scary person. You should not do life with them. You should take that very seriously. Or, this could be your story. I watch true crime from time to time, and it's sad to see how many signs are out there for people to see, like, hey, what you're dealing with is a monster. You need to get away from them. And I know it may not be as easy, but it's possible to get away. And sometimes people stay till it's too late. Don't let that be your story. Understand that, you have a narrative that you should protect as much as possible. You know, your name, your legacy, your life. Be mindful of that, and that, you know, anything that happens, you know, there could and will be someone trying to discredit and tear you down. And unfortunately, this man won't get the justice that he deserved, because this is an evil woman. She's an abusive woman, and I don't like. I'm hoping that they sentence her harshly, even though she's come to a plea deal. But I doubt it. But y'all let me know what y'all think in the comment section about it. There's so much conversation that can be had around it. And I would love to hear what y'all have to say. Don't forget to connect with the brand online at www.there'shopebrand.com. Also, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe to the channel. Hit the like button on this video. Let the algorithm know that you enjoy the content coming from our page. Also, if you'd like to donate to this brand and ministry and the things that we do here in our local community, that information is in the description below, and I'll catch y'all in the next video.